Ladies and gentlemen, good morning.
John Lee is taking stock as he enters the final year of his first term as Hong Kong's chief executive.
It's a long list of things that we have done.
He still has a lot on his plate, steering Hong Kong through both internal and external challenges in a volatile and unpredictable geopolitical environment. And has been busy traveling overseas to build partnerships.
Well, I always want to make friends. Hong Kong is no better choice.
Hong Kong's not giving up on the US, is it?
We will not give up any markets.
Make a visit, you could?
Well, I'll do anything that is possible. But I think that is something for the states to really consider.
He won't give away much as to whether he's prepared to serve a second 5-year term.
Well, you can always see me. I'm sure that I will be in Hong Kong for a very, very long time.
This is Talking Post, and here's the latest with John Lee. Thank you so much.
Thank you, tall man.
Chief Executive, thank you very much for joining us again. I can't help noticing you look very energized. Where do you get all this energy from? I mean, in contrast, look how jaded and tired the rest of us are.
Well, it depends on who are the people I'm meeting.
Yeah.
So meeting you, of course, is an opportunity, I think. And also, I've been reading a lot of articles that you have been publishing. Yeah. So seeing you is a good opportunity.
I must say your taste in newspapers is excellent, Chief Executive.
I'm quite selective, I can tell you.
Okay, 4 years of your term have already passed. You've got 1 more year in the remaining time of this first 5-year term. So I think it's a good time to take stock of what you've been doing. I know if we ask you to list out your achievements, there will be quite a lot. But if you were to boil it down to, if I asked you for 1 or 2 significant, concrete, most effective changes that you've made in Hong Kong over the past 4 years or so, the thing that is most consequential to Hong Kong, where do you think you've made this achievement?
It's a long list of things that we have done. First of all, I am very focused on developing Hong Kong's economy, because Hong Kong's economy, if good, then livelihood will be good, people get better pay. Well, first of all, I'm happy to see that the economic outlook of Hong Kong is positive. When I assumed office, the GDP was negative. It's minus 3.7. And now the GDP for last year is plus 3.5. So from a negative growth to positive growth, and the contrast is some 7%. And I'm also pleased to note that the median income, median salary for working people has gone up from, I think, 19,000 to 23,000. So that's up about 20%. And the economic outlook is positive. We expect it to grow between 2.5 to 3.5%. And this is backed up by statistics, particularly recently. The last quarter's growth was some 5.9% GDP, well, I think, which has been the highest quarter in recent years. And tourism has gone up, the figures is positive, double digit. Consumption has stabilized and is also seeing a mild growth. Import and export is very positive. We see double-digit growth. So things look quite positive in the long run. But there are interim risks, of course. So I think economically, we have quite positive outlook. The second thing is, I think we have made good effort to solve some long-standing problems. Lhatoo is debating on the car hailing regime. So this is something I've promised that we will do. And now we have a legislative regime which was a vacuum for over 10 years. And then we have also have a solution for the long-standing problem of substandard subdivided flats. And so we have this basic housing unit legislation to replace those substandard subdivided flats. And that problem has existed for over 15 years. So we have a solution for it. And of course, more obviously is we fulfilled our obligation under Article 23, which was outstanding for over 26 years. So long-standing problems has been addressed.
Okay, so you listed out a series of achievements that are primarily domestically focused, which is important because it's important to keep your citizens happy, right? Um, but looking at the broader picture, the world is in a state of turmoil right now. We cannot deny the impact of what's happening around the world, the geopolitical chaos, the war in the Middle East, the Straits of Hormuz being blocked, oil shipments, all that. And our drivers, I mean, it boils down to that. The impact is immediate. Our taxi drivers are feeling the impact right now. You've had a couple of fuel subsidies. So given all that, while you painted a positive picture of achievements so far, we are facing some very challenging circumstances that may well be out of your control, right? How are you going to prepare for this? Or how are you prepared for this? What are our contingency plans?
It's very true. Hong Kong, particularly being a very open economy, and what happens in different parts of the world affect us economically, and also, I think, security angle also it may have an effect. One thing I'm confident about is Hong Kong will remain as a very safe, stable, and secure society after we have done so much to make sure that we have a good security system. Why do I mention it? Is exactly because you mentioned the conflicts in different parts of the world. This actually highlights Hong Kong's advantage and strength, being very secure and stable. For many reasons. First of all, we have the security system well set up. The second reason is we are part of our country, and China, our country, is very stable and very secure, and it acts actually as a stabilizer of the world. So in this part of the world, in Asia, within my country, China, that security and stability angle is an advantage which I will make good use of to let the world to know the strength which they may not find elsewhere. You asked about the complex geopolitical situation, how it affects us. We have to prepare for something that will affect us out of our control, as you have rightly pointed out, such as the tariff impositions. But I will not allow external factors to change the fundamental strengths of Hong Kong. So we reflect on what is right of Hong Kong, what has been the successful ingredients, the DNAs, to ensure we maintain and strengthen them. And then we build other areas much stronger. That is what I'm doing now. So I will ensure that we have the resilience to take the shocks. So helping people's daily life when the oil prices go up, we have these relief measures. And also we basically have to build up a good social service system. So when people need help, then we can help them. And at the same time, we build Hong Kong stronger. And building Hong Kong stronger, if you look at building the economy, then you have to look at more opportunities, new opportunities elsewhere. If you look at how I did my overseas visit, you could generally be able to tell why I picked the locations in that priority. When I assumed office, the immediate region I went to was ASEAN. ASEAN is the second biggest partner of Hong Kong, other than Chinese mainland. So obviously, if you build bigger trade with them, then the benefit you get will be bigger, because that is a big slice of my economy. And after that, I will have to look for new markets. And there are a lot of new markets, but Middle East is the growing and also a strong emerging market.
But with the Middle East, I mean, you had a major drive, I remember, earlier this year. It started from last year as well. But I get the impression you seem to have kind of left that off now, and now you're focusing on Central Asia. I mean, I assume that's because of the turmoil in the Middle East, but isn't that also a cautionary tale in terms of no matter how much outreach you do, there are circumstances that are completely out of your control? So the follow-up to that is the connections that you've made during your Central Asia visit. How much of that is concrete? How much of that is going to benefit Hong Kong as opposed to press conferences, deal signings and
Yes.
stuff. What have you brought
Well,
back?
the first point is all these new markets, whether it's traditional market or new markets, they are not exclusive of each other. We just want to build more markets. So we consolidate the traditional markets, Europe, even US. We consolidate them, but there's only a degree of thing you can do, consolidating. But we'll keep consolidating it. So as you can see, my government officials have been visiting Europe and some even US, UK, etc., etc. But then building new markets, it doesn't mean that you make one friends and that's all. And I think if you want to expand opportunities and you want to expand the possibilities as widely as possible. Middle East is fast growing. Well, the region has some issues to deal with, but I think it will not be long term. There will be a time when things will settle down. And
The amount you've invested so far of time, energy with the Middle East, that's not been wasted?
Well, in fact, the link and our connection with the Middle East continues. And I think there's a very good reason for that linkage to continue to grow stronger. Because Middle East, I think, believes even more firmly that they have to diversify. They have to diversify not just investment, but the risks. And when you want to diversify risks, you look for safe havens, safe locations. And Hong Kong is no better choice.
I agree. I mean, this is the safest place.
So the link and our connectivity with Middle East will continue. And I think it will grow again after they have settled some of the issues they are hard dealing with. And at the same time, why don't we go to other places to make us even stronger, make more friends? And there's a natural match between Hong Kong and Central Asia, because Central Asia sits geographically at the heart of the corridor between Asia and Europe. And then building that link with this heart of the corridor means what? I can also link up even more with Asia and Europe. And both of them are my traditional markets. So while consolidating, I strengthen the connection. So that will be a win-win thing. And in fact, I would think in the past, we haven't been paying a lot of attention to Central Asia. So the amount of return we can actually get, I think, will be even greater than other markets. So it's like starting from almost zero to, well, I think the base is not high, so you can see the jump will be high. I mean, I think that's a simple analogy. And one other thing, if you look at it, is the successes that we have brought in this visit. If you look at previous visits, is far more. So on this occasion, less than really 5 days in these two countries, we have reached almost 100 agreements and MOUs, and there are dollar signs attached to them. We're talking about 1.65 billion US dollars, and that is a big sum of money. More than that, the momentum keeps rising. And you can immediately see yesterday, the Deputy Prime Minister of Kazakhstan made a visit specifically to Hong Kong to promote their development. And that is important. And I will see equal momentum growing with Uzbekistan.
I noticed you didn't mention the US. I understand that Hong Kong has been burned repeatedly by the US and its allies. But after the recent meeting between the presidents of the US and China, there is a lot of talk about turning a corner. Even though no concrete deals were signed, the significance of the two superpowers at least deciding to talk, and strategic partnership, whether it's to do with trade, security, everything else. So given all that, where is Hong Kong now with American ties? Because you can make all the ties you want with the options that we have, because the US, to a great extent, has not been a reliable partner. But the US is still so significant in terms of building ties with, right? So Hong Kong's not giving up on the US, is it?
Well, this is the point exactly I want to reiterate. We will not give up any markets. I talk about consolidation of traditional markets, and this obviously includes the US. US remains an important market for our business. And if you look at the business sentiment is growing and growing more positive about Hong Kong. And in fact, U.S. Has a trade surplus with us. So there's every reason for U.S. to build up the trade ties. And I'm positive on this side. I'm pushing for it. So consolidating traditional markets includes U.S. obviously. Then how can we even strengthen the trade volume? And it really depends on, I think, B2B at the moment. While I would like to see some better relations between the two big powers, but if you talk about trade, really it's the businessman who do the actual job. Government-to-government relations, of course, is important, but I think the network is already very strong between Hong Kong businessmen, Hong Kong investors, Hong Kong enterprises with, say, the US and also the European market. That will continue, and we'll continue to push for it. So we will leave out no market at all. We just want to expand and build more markets. And I think that exactly, I think everybody will think about when they want to grow and thrive. You just want to create new opportunities, make new friends, and expand your possible incomes.
The relationship with the U.S., I mean, of course, you have to look at the relationship with Beijing first and then at Hong Kong, right? So a lot of the animosity seems to have been taken off the table. It was open animosity, you know, sanctions and all that stuff. You're a victim of sanctions yourself. So notice that people who had been sanctioned by the Chinese government were allowed back into the country, Marco Rubio, for example. So that's been taken off. Doesn't that open the way for someone like you to visit the US? Do you want to?
Well, I always want to make friends. I think I have said it not once to you. I like making friends, not enemies. But sometimes animosity is forced on me, and I just have to just accept that, well, this world is never perfect. But personally, I'm all for making friends, and I'm all for making connections. So if there are opportunities where I will be able to make connections, make good friends, of course.
Make a visit, you could?
Well, I'll do anything that is possible. But then, of course, we have to wait for the opportunities to arise.
Let's talk a little bit about national security. It's been 4 years. I think you've got quite a grip on it. We've had the national security law. We've had various iterations to that. What would you say to people now who are getting a bit nervous about overdoing it? Hasn't everyone got the message by now in Hong Kong? Aren't they pretty much on board? Of course, you will have your dissidents. You will have your resentment among some people who can never reconcile. But overall, I think we've all got the message now, right?
I have described our national security law and the whole system very clearly. It's a defensive system, in simple terms. People attack me, then I can defend myself. I never attack people. So when people do not commit any acts to endanger my national security, we are happy people. All of us are happy. But when people break into your house, you need to have a strong door, right? So building a strong door is not offensive. You can't complain about myself building a strong door, strong locks. That's the whole intention of the national security law. But when people does break into your house, do you want police to go for that culprit, to arrest him, so he doesn't break into your house again? That is what we're doing. I think we're doing it in another way, in full conformity with the law than some other places.
Yeah, in countries like the US, if someone breaks into your house, you have the right to stand your ground and shoot them. So I guess in Hong Kong, we're a little more measured.
Well, I'll focus on myself. Right? I respect other people's jurisdiction, so I focus on my own business.
From national security to just a little bit about national integration, something very important that you've embarked upon is Hong Kong's own five-year plan. This is in keeping with China's national development drive. I know you're going to consult the public and get feedback before you move on it. You've got about a year to go to get this going. What is going to be different that Hong Kong does that it has not done so far? Because on the one hand, we hear the jargon about five-year plan, integrating with national development. What is the concrete difference that Hong Kong is going to embark upon that has not done so far, or has failed to do, if you want to put it that way?
Well, in a very positive way. First of all, it means continuity of policies, because the 5-year plans cover a period not exactly to tie in with a government's term. You're right, I mean, my term of government have 1 more year, but the 5-year plans will have another 4 years to run after my government's term. So the continuity of the policy will be ensured, because the 5-year plan doesn't belong to one term of government. It belongs to Hong Kong. It will be, I think, debated in the Lhatoo. That means it is a blueprint for 5 years for Hong Kong as a whole, regardless of change of government. So that is important continuity. The second thing is, even now we do a lot of long-term planning. We have blueprints. A lot of them takes 5 years, 10 years. The Northern Metropolis blueprint, for example, takes 15 to 20 years to materialize. So we do plan things ahead, and there's a long-term vision. One thing which you have touched on, but I think a lot of people have not really focused on this important point, is the 5-year plan will dovetail with the 15th National 5-year plan. What does it mean? It means a 5-year plan which will fully grasp the advantages of the national development. Because while I can do a lot of linkages with the 5-year plan, the national 5-year plan, I and the whole government, and I want the whole society to now think of Hong Kong plus country, not Hong Kong and then country. That's very important, because if you run a family, you want to say you have 2 children. So you want to think everything, wife and 2 children, not me and then wife and then children and children too. So it is important, because when you do things like that, everything comes out for that goal, which means common good for all the family members. So being a party to the National 5-year plan means that Hong Kong is not just Hong Kong. Hong Kong will be Hong Kong plus our country, China.
Just a quick question on a topic that we haven't touched so far, the devastating fire in Tai Po and the consequences of that. So as you can see, the government has moved quite fast. It's 6 months later, and a bunch of people are now going on trial for various criminal offenses. Now, this is the criminal part. When it comes to government officials, there is also something where it may not be a criminal offense per se, but there is responsibility. If you find that senior government officials, including members of your cabinet, have been negligent or anything like that, when the investigation details are all out and when the conclusions are made, will you do something significant about that and proportionate?
Well, I've already said very clearly in public many times that I will pursue accountability. So the foremost important accountability that we should pursue is criminal accountability, and that has taken place. We have 7 people charged for 25 offenses, which includes not just manslaughter, but corruption-related conspiracies. So that is important, because it is justice that needs to be done for the lives that have been lost. I will pursue accountability when the independent committee has concluded its work. I think for any accountability to be credible, you need several elements. First of all, you need impartiality. It can't be based on personal preferences or prejudices. The second thing is, it has to be proportional. It has to be based on facts, so that people will think it is a fair process. This is how I will pursue accountability when the report is out.
Chief Executive, if we look at your performance, of course you will have your naysayers and critics, but overall the general feedback we get is that you are doing a good job. You've had your pitfalls, you've had some setbacks, but overall, when we look at your performance, why not do a second term? If you were asked to, are you prepared for it?
Well, I don't think I should consider this question now. I mean, time will come when I see.
One more year to go. See.
Well, time will come when I see. But 1 year is long. I've told you that 1 year is a year where I think I can do a lot of things for society. The time will come.
You know, when we look at the Hong Kong chief executive's job, actually, if you think about it, it's a lot of people would not want to do it. You have to. You're not just like the mayor of the city. It's far more complicated than that. You have to keep your domestic audience happy, and Hong Kong people are a demanding group of people, right? You have your work cut out to keep them happy and satisfied and prosperous. At the same time, you have orders from Beijing in terms of the national interest, which you have to keep very much in mind, because one country, two systems, but it is one country after all. And then at the same time, you have your international investors. Hong Kong is an international city. It's, despite the geopolitical tensions with the West and with the rest of the world, you still need them. So it's a damned if you do, damned if you don't kind of job. Do you have any regrets about taking over the job? Do you think sometimes that you would have been much happier just retiring, practicing your martial arts in your garden?
It is an honor to be the chief executive. It is a very difficult job, challenging job, but it is also a very meaningful job. Being able to
Do you enjoy it?
Well, I think enjoyment is not the right way to describe it, because if you look at the amount of time that I have to devote every day, and also the lack of duty to my families, and those I should really pay a lot of attention to give good care, of course. This is a sacrifice. But when you are in this mission, I'm talking about taking good care of 7.5 million people. And you rightly have pointed out that this is more than just a city mayor. And Hong Kong is complex in that regard. So it is a big challenge. But I think whoever takes this mission will see as something that they will feel proud to have been through it, even though it is so difficult. Because if you can be part of the success of Hong Kong, and I regard Hong Kong as a family experience, then you'll be proud to contribute to the overall good of the family.
Okay, Chief Executive, we're out of time now, but thank you very much for giving us this time and for sharing your thoughts with us. Well, we really appreciate it. And we also wish you all the best, whether it's for the remaining 1 year or another 5 years. All the best.
But one thing I can guarantee you, I'll continue to read your great articles.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.